Examinations Council (WAEC) recently released the 2020 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination, the SSCE, results with improved performances in spite of the COVID-19 induced uncertainty and delay in the conduct of the examination. Now, the Council recorded progress with 65.24% of the candidates obtaining credit in a minimum of 5 subjects out of the 1,549,740 candidates registered for the examination. From the 19,129 recognized secondary schools in Nigeria, 1,003,668 candidates obtained credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English and mathematics, representing a 1.06% improvement from the last year. Good news. Now, another cheering news is that the examination was also conducted in Chibok local government area of Borno State for the first time since the abduction of over 200 schoolgirls in the area by insurgents 6 years ago. An obvious question to ask is, what could be responsible for the improvement in performances in a year that schools were shut for over 6 months due to COVID-19? Now, this question, among others, will drive our conversation. Welcome to Nigeria Today. I am Victor Azu. Now, to evaluate the 2020 SSCE results, I am now joined via Zoom by the head of Nigerian National Office, West African Examinations Council, Patrick Areha. Mr. Areha, welcome to Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much, Ms. Patrick Aregan, please. It's a pleasure having me.
Now, here in the studio, I have the pleasure of welcoming Amechi Osuji. She's Principal, Pace Setters College, Guzape, Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Patrick.
All right. Let me also say it's Mr. Victor here. All right, let me begin from the WAEC perspective. Mr. Aregan, it must have been a difficult year for the council. How did you pull this off, given the challenge posed by COVID-19?
Thank you very much. We have every cause to be grateful to God. Before God, there is nothing on earth that is impossible. Everything is possible before God. So first and foremost, I will ascribe the success to God. Secondly, I want to thank all my colleagues and the entire staff. When I say colleagues, I mean my management team and the entire staff of the West African Examinations Council Nigeria for their hard work, for their cooperation, for their loyalty. They never gave up. We all did it together. And we also want to thank the government at various levels for the support. So when you combine all these factors together, the never say die spirit of the average white worker, all these accounted for the success we recorded. Thank you very much.
Now, let me stay with you. Now, parents and schools expressed fear that there would be mass failure since students didn't go to school for about 6 months, yet results turned out better than last year's. What did the magic? Did WAEC have to lower standards?
Thank you. There is this common saying that thunder does not strike twice. Out of adversity can come out very good fortune. And so this time around, when everybody expected that the result was going to be very bad, it turned out to be the other way around. First and foremost, we must not lose sight of the improved learning facilities in schools, such as online teaching and learning. Many schools, especially the good private schools, they had this facility, and students were exposed to online learning throughout the lockdown period. And also, towards the tail end of the lockdown, there was this rush what I can call last-minute revision, organized by the various schools. They lay their hands on past question papers, marking schemes, chief examiners' reports, to use to sort of update the students, and the results came out beautifully. Secondly, there were other available learning outlets apart from the online learning. There was what we call radio teaching, television teaching, and of course, this time around, I think all the students made good use of the internet, of the social media. Googling, there's nothing you Google that you will not find. You know, they were all forced to be at home. So this time around, the only thing they did was studying and studying and studying. And of course, the third factor, they all had access to what we call Wire Connect. Wire Connect is a platform provided by Wire Nigeria, whereby students can avail themselves of learning materials online. And during the lockdown period, many parents, many schools got across to Wire. How do we access Wire Connect? I will give it to them. We went on air, we published in newspapers, you can access Wire Connect this way. And many of them were able to access it, and they had access to various learning materials. That, of course, also accounted for the high performance we have recorded. Of course, very important factor, parental involvement. You see, the average Nigerian parent does not have time for his or her children, I'm sorry to say, because of work. Before the children wake up in the morning, dad is already gone, mom is already gone. And by the time they return, the children are already asleep. But this time around, everybody was forced to stay at home. So the literate parents were involved in their children's studies. So if you were good at geography, you will find yourself teaching your children geography. If you were good at mathematics, you will find yourself teaching your children mathematics. And because for the first time, parents sat down with their children to learn. So the interest of the students and their attention were captured. And so they sat down, they studied, and they have a good story to tell today. We cannot forget the effort of the government at various levels. You will recall that during the lockdown, towards the tail end, when movement was eased, various state governments organized teaching and learning for their students by way of extramural classes. This greatly helps to improve the performance of the candidates. There is what we also call candidates' personal determination. That was what I said earlier, thunder doesn't strike twice. We were already suffering from COVID-19. And the children now realize that if they suffer from COVID-19 and they also now fail the exam, that will be double tragedy. So they didn't need anybody to tell them to sit up and read their books. This time they used to waste doing Instagram, doing WhatsApp, playing music. They sat down compulsorily and read their books because nobody wanted to fail. Everybody say, oh, 2020 has been a terrible year. It's almost wasted. COVID-19, and then thereafter we had another national emergency. So these children said, no, in spite of COVID-19, I must get something out of 2020. So that personal determination also accounted for the performance of the candidates. And don't also forget the long period of time the children had to prepare for the examination. By February, all the schools had completed the syllabus for the exam. The examination was supposed to start on the 6th of April to end on the 5th of June. But because of COVID-19 and the lockdown, the examination could not start until 17th August. And it ended on the 12th of September. You see, they had extra 4 months to prepare for the exam. It was only a non-serious candidate, a candidate that they don't want to make progress in life, that wasted the time. But under the guidance of their parents, as I said earlier, nobody could be said to have wasted the time.
Thank you, Patrick Arega, for your opening remarks. Now, let me get back here in the studio where Amechi Osuji is waiting. What is your reaction to the examination results as a parent and principal?
Well, thank you so much. I was highly ecstatic. I wasn't scared. I was not worried about the result because, one, for we in the private sector, preparing children is very important. The foundation of children, of education, is very key, germane to any educational level a child is going through. So when lockdown happened, I saw children already ready for WAEC because, like Mr. Patrick said, WAEC was supposed to start sometime in April, and unfortunately schools went on lockdown by March. And so the children were at home. We had, like he said, online learnings. We had different platforms to engage the children. You know, at the end of the day, the time was also there for them. The children inspired themselves. And the teachers, they had ample time to do extra revision, to walk, you know, go the extra mile. And truly, it was the COVID period, the pandemic was a period that taught every person, even these teenagers, a lesson that anything can happen. And so education is one of those things that you have to be serious about. And I'm happy because when lockdown was called off and schools resumed for their exiting classes, you know, by 4th of August, I saw them coming back ready to write the exam. And despite the fact that the country was unstable, kind of, you know, there was so much happening around them, the children gave it their all. You know, they took the exam serious. And at the end of the day, I've seen one or two online, and I can talk about my school, Pacesetter Schools, Abuja, the colleges especially, and the children that took the exam. Like Mr. Patrick said, the performance was excellent, more than 100%.
But did it come to you as a surprise? Did it come to you?
That's why I'm saying that it wasn't totally a surprise to me because foundation has already been laid. I expected them to do that, to pass. And the circumstances surrounding the exam, the condition, the environment, everything that, you know, were there for them before the exam started were enough for them to pass. And that's a great one. We give God the glory. So I'm happy. Yes, I will. For me, I will not say it was a surprise, because I would say that they were not prepared. But children can always take advantage of the situation, like Mr. Patrick said. Take advantage of the situation and see that at the end of the day, they make their results once and for all. And that's exactly what I saw with the result that was just released on Monday.
All right, thank you very much. And that would mean that you will be suggesting that children should sit at home more when they prepare for exams, because it turns out perhaps better than you know, going to school would be. But at the moment, let's take a break just so that we can hear from some Nigerians on the streets. When we return, the conversation will continue. Please don't go away.
I thought they would fail, but now they perform better. But I can understand that, you know, during the pandemic period, they are their parents. So the parent motivated them to be key with their studies.
All through the pandemic, I recall that serious schools and students actually engage the internet online facility, and I think that has tremendously changed the face of education in Nigeria.
For like 6 or 7 months they were at home, so I believe that gives them an impetus to their performance. So that's what I think that was responsible for the success recorded in the WAEC exam. This e-learning of a thing, it has come to stay. Even me as a father, any information I need, I go online to read and get my information, and that really aided him, and he passed very well.
while staying at home with your parents, of course, you'll be encouraged to study, especially while having it at the back of your mind that there is an exam to be written after post-COVID. This should be a kind of an encouragement to parents too, that when we dedicate our time to our children, irrespective of whatever we are doing, anytime, any day, to study, the result will be obvious.
All right, welcome back, and the program is Nigeria Today on NTA News 24, and we're discussing the 2020 SSCE results. Now, let me get back to Patrick Arega again via Zoom. 13.98% of the total number of candidates that sat for the exams have their results held back in connection with various reported cases of examination malpractice. How would you describe this? Is it an increase from what we used to know, or it is a decrease, so that we begin to find some perspectives to the outcome of the examinations?
I didn't quite get you, but I guess that you are asking or talking about the candidates who have had their results withheld as a result of various acts of examination malpractice. Yes, we did say that some candidates had their results withheld as a result of examination malpractice. 215,149 of them. That is just 13.98% of the total candidates that sat the examination. We have various forms of examination malpractice, like copying, like mass cheating, like collusion, like exchange of information, bringing in phones, that is handsets, and so on and so forth, impersonation and what have you. And once you are caught, you are booked. And once that is done, your results will be withheld, pending presentation before the appropriate committee of council for final determination. So that is what we have done. Why does not have the power to cancel or do anything to deny the candidates of their results? All we do is to report that this candidate has committed this or that offense, and we take everything to that committee. It is that committee that will decide, and that committee is made up of directors from the various state ministries of education, the Federal Ministry of Education, and other respectable educationists from schools, colleges, universities, and what have you. They will now decide, okay, we have looked at this case, it has merits, cancel the result or cancel the subject result or release it. So this is a lesson to everybody. But I want to say that the cases of examination malpractice reduced this time around because of the strict enforcement of the COVID-19 principle. That is 2 meters, sitting 2 meters apart spacing. And that was one of the reasons that accounted for the high performance of the candidates. Because they now knew that they were unto themselves, nobody to help them. So they had to read in order to be able to write and pass the examination. But everybody cannot be a pope. Some of them still committed examination malpractice, and these are the people we are talking about now. So it is only after the committee meets and considers the cases that we will know the final fate of the candidates. This is not the final. Out of these 215,000, some will still get their full results, some will not get, depending on what the committee is going to say. And that committee is going to meet in December this year, and the final pronouncement will be made on the cases of this candidate. We should also realize that the social media has its own negative impact on the conduct of examinations in this country. And that calls for government legislation on the issue. Because I know that in some countries like Ethiopia, during the conduct of any public examination, they will shut down the social media. But if you do that in Nigeria, everybody will shout to the high heavens. But that is the only solution. Nobody has the solution. Even though we have developed a very high-tech technology now to use to track down perpetrators of this act, whereby they film or they snap question papers and post it on the net for people to use somewhere else. If you do that, we catch you, we download it, and we decode it. We know who posted it. We know where you posted it from. We go after you, we arrest you, And so we were able to arrest many candidates during the conduct of this exam, including supervisors and invigilators. And we handed them over to the IG. Right now they are facing prosecution.
Let me take a response from here in the studio. Amechi, given the improved results with students spending most time of the year at home, would you say that they need more time at home to read for exams instead of taking tutorials almost till the exam day again?
Thank you. That would mean asking if I would want the situation that warranted that to happen again, and I would say no. The reason being that these children by now should have been out of school, and there is not a good thing they were at home for so long. Yes, it helped. Not the condition for it is not just one. It wasn't just that they stayed at home. That gave them ample opportunity, but that was not exclusive. There were other factors like, parental guidance, the fact that they had to read for a longer period of time. I will not advocate for such longer period of time, because that also means that the school year will be affected. After secondary school, these children have to go to university, and there's this gap. The timetable has been structured. Their stay in school has been structured in such a way that there's a time for them to go to the university. And, it won't be a good thing for them to start more through because of a pandemic or something. I wouldn't want that for them. But though the advantages were there, but I wouldn't advocate for it, because the circumstance that led to it is not something anybody would say we want to have again,
All right. Now, but let's just take this quickly in a few seconds. The results are good, but they can be better. What can be done to ensure that the students, come out even better next year? Say get up to 90% of them on 5 credits, including English and mathematics.
The foundation, I always talk about the foundation. We have to lay a very solid foundation for children, starting from nursery school to primary school to secondary school. The foundation has to be right. Once the foundation is right, the children can, excel in their exams. My practice will be brought to the minimal. Children will have more confidence in themselves whenever they write an exam.
Okay.
So it's the foundation that's the major thing. Yes, we always have the foundation. I find it difficult to say that I don't have the foundation. We have the foundation. We work with children. We've seen results. We expect, generally, the performance was so good, but I've seen good results in time past. Okay. Generally, but you could see them doing so well because it gave they say life is in stages, children are in sizes. It gave everyone opportunity, everybody to come at par, to be on the same level and make good use of the exam. All
right, thank you. Let me take one more shuttle to Patrick Arega for his closing remarks. Now, the examination was conducted in Chibok, local government area of Borno State, the first time since over 200 schoolgirls in the area were abducted by insurgents 6 years ago. Is the situation now very much back to normal in the area, Patrick?
You have turned me into a security expert. Well, as I said at the beginning of this program, I did say that we achieved what we achieved through collaborative efforts and all that. How did we conduct exam in Chibok? A highly, so to say, insecure area. It was through the collaborative efforts of WAEC and the government of Borno and Yobe states. The governments of the 2 states were very, very cooperative. They were very, very supportive. They engaged the security agencies that provided the security at the schools and also escorted our materials on a daily basis. So with that, we had the confidence to go in there and conduct the exam, and everybody was safe. So I don't want to comment on the general security in that area. I think that should be left for the security agencies. All right. But as far as WAEC is concerned, whenever you provide us with security in any area, we go to the ends of the earth to conduct our examination. That is why WAEC is different from any other examining body. Anywhere any school is located, we go there to conduct the exam. Because our duty is to render service to the Nigerian child. So wherever the Nigerian child is, we go there. So we were deterred by the fact that place was not safe. So we went there because the government supported us, and we are grateful.
All right, Patrick Arega, head of Nigerian National Office, West African Examinations Council, WAEC. Thank you for your insights on Nigeria Today.
Thank you very much.
All right, and Amechi Osuji, Principal, Pace Setters College, Guzapi, Abuja. Thanks for your time and thoughts.
Thank you so much.
I will return with another interesting edition of Nigeria Today at 7:30 tomorrow. But be sure to watch today's program and other editions on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. My name is Victor Azu. Thanks for watching.